Hey, what's going on, my fellow collectors? Jim here with another figure review, and tonight we're going to take a look at the SH Figuarts Street Fighter 5 Rainbow Mika figure. Very cool. My first Street Fighter SH Figuarts figure, but the packaging is what we've seen with other SH Figuarts. You do have the window, you can clearly see the figure. A lot of stuff is kind of hidden, but we do have, SH Figuarts, Tamashii Nations, Bandai. This is number 6 in the line. There's an image of the figure here. Top of the packaging, we just have 30th anniversary of Street Fighter, which makes you feel old, doesn't it? 30 years, man. Bottom, we do have an image of the figure itself. On the side, we have a really nice artist rendition of the figure, along with the SH Figuarts read-up. On this side, again, just a Street Fighter, number 6, Rainbow Mika. And on the back, we have all the promotional pictures that we saw before. A little bit of some stats. So that's kind of cool. They added that in there with that. Cool pictures, too, that they have on here. And then a bunch of unreadables. But yeah, that is the packaging. Let's go ahead and crack this figure open and take a closer look. Okay, and here she is out of the packaging. And this is a really impressive figure. They kind of updated some of the articulation. Overall the sculpt and paint is really nice, and it does come with some pretty cool accessories. Besides instructions, it does come with these two kind of cardboard printed backdrop stands that you can use, and it does form together to kind of show like the ring, like in the video game. It does say Capcom, does kind of have like the rings of the rope and the floor and everything. So that's a pretty neat little touch. They are a little bit on the warped side, but I guess the more you kind of bend them out, you can, stack them side by side, and they do kind of form a nice little backdrop. So that's pretty cool. I mean, just the way that they're packaged though, just kind of has them all bent and crinkled up, as you can see. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but that is one thing that's included, so that's awesome. And then she also comes with a bunch of different accessories. We do get 2 fisted hands that come on her out of the packaging. We also get 2 kind of like wide open hands. And all the hands are nice, decent sculpt on them. The fingernails and everything, so that's cool. She does come with 2 kind of, clinched or grabby hands. These are done really nice. She does come with 2 pointing fingers, 1 for each hand, so that is cool. And then she does come with a single hand, and it's more or less for gripping the microphone that she comes with. And the microphone is done nice, got a little sculpt on it, but it's basically just done in like kind of like a glossy black, so that is cool. She does come with 2 effect pieces, which are pretty cool because you could use these for other figures as well. But they're kind of like a hard plastic. I wouldn't say brittle, but a little bit on the brittle side. But they're very cool. They're done with like a translucent plastic and have a little bit of yellow hints inside of it, so that it's very neat. And you get 2 of those, so you can kind of set those up on the ground around her. That's pretty cool, and you can even use these for other figures as well. So that's really neat. I like that. And switching out the hands is pretty easy. Again, like normal SH Figuarts, you do get a really tiny little peg, so you do have to be a little bit on the careful side as far as switching out the hands, but I haven't had too many issues switching them in and out. You just gotta watch, because that hinge wants to always move on you, but for the most part, not too bad. And then taking a closer look at the figure, because she does come with 2 other faces as well. And to interchange the face, you want to kind of grab it at the chin and kind of pull away from the face, and it just comes off just like that. So really nice and easy. But she does come with this face out of the packaging, and this is done really nice. Really nice paint and sculpt on all of the faces. I think the eyes and the mouth and the lips and the hair came out really nice. And I like how her bangs is like a separate piece on all of the heads. And then you have this head sculpt, which is really nice as well. It's more like kind of her looking off to the left and kind of smiling. And again, interchanging the face, you just want to line everything up and then push it right back onto the head, and it looks really good, and it's seamless for the most part. I mean, you can see a little bit of the seam, but for the most part it's pretty good. And then she comes with this head sculpt as well, and this one again looks really nice. And this is kind of like her screaming or yelling, wide mouth open head sculpt. So that's really cool. So a bunch of accessories with this girl. Very cool. Now taking a closer look at the figure itself, I think SH Figuarts did a really nice job with this figure. I mean, all over. Really, really cool. Nice clean paint work where there is paint work. There is even some shading in the skin tone. Not much, like a little bit right here and a little bit right here, a little bit up on her breast. That's really it for the most part. But I do like how they did with the hair. Like I said, I like how they use a separate sheet for, or separate piece for her bangs. We do get a little bit of shading up here in the top of the hair. So that's really nice, like in the part. And her, you know, big long pigtails are on little ball joints, so they can move around and have a little bit of flex in and out. I will say that they're really sharp down the bottom here and almost feel like a little bit brittle. So I would be careful with these, with her, you know, pigtails, because man, they are like a little bit on the sharp and fragile feeling side. But a really nice detail with her little, like, you know, cuff part of the shirt here, and her outfit looks good. I love the blue color that they chose, and I like how we have this white outlining all over all of the, you know, all over the costume. I think overall looks really good. Her big old thunder thighs, and the knee pads came out really nice. I like how they did that. And then her boots came out really nice as well. We even get some nice paint shading in within the boots, so very cool. I love how the laces look, and I love how the shoes look. I think it turned out really nice, actually. No peg holes or anything at the bottom, but really, really nice job all around with this figure. Very cool. And even on the back, we get some cool little, you know, details here on the back of her mask. They even painted like the little laces to tie her mask together. Very cool little heart symbol here in the back of her shirt. A little bit of paint shading in there. And I like the elbows. I like how they did these little elbow pieces. So it kind of looks like her, you know, the elbow is on the skin. And then coming down to, you know, the rest of her outfit, again looking good. She's got a big old ass on her. And then of course we have a little bit of sloppy paint here, but you know, overall the paint deco is really nice on this figure with all the line work and everything. And again, we get a little bit of shading even in the back of the boot. So very cool. I love how they added that shading on the figure. Overall, a very, very cool little piece, man. And she's got some really nice articulation to her as well. We do have, you know, movement in the head and at the neck. And of course, her pigtails are on little ball joints, so they will move, you know, all the way around. Not so much in and out, but there is a little bit of play there. So you can kind of get them up out of the way. But her head, you know, of course, will rotate. And then you get really nice down. That's with both joints, the neck. And then looking up, not so much looking up, but I mean, if you kind of force it, you can get her to look a little bit up. So you think it should be a little bit better than that, but that's not too bad for what it is. And then you do get a little bit of side to side, not much, but there is a little bit of side to side movement in there. And again, you get movement at the head and the neck. The arms are done really nice. You kind of have like a, you know, a double ball peg there connecting into the torso. So I mean, you kind of get that shift up and down. So you get that movement. And then her arms can go out pretty much horizontal. Of course, that does, you know, go forward and back all the way around. There is no bicep swivel, but you do get, you know, a rotation around the ball joint. And there even is like a little bit of a butterfly joint. And you can see as I pull this out, there's that cap that kind of hides it. This side seems to be a little bit stuck, like it doesn't want to come out of there. But there is that cap there that allows her to, you can really get her arms really far in front of her. So that's really cool. So nice movement there with that. And then, of course, you have the double jointed elbows. So you get nice range with that. Both elbows look really good. And then, of course, for the hands, it's basically just a little ball hinge. So you do get, you know, rotation and up and down or left and right, however you set that. And then the cool thing is we get this kind of extra articulation down here. So you have, you know, rotation there at the mid-torso. So you get rotation out of that. You do get side and side. Really nice side and side, actually. So great movement with that. You get back. So you kind of get a good all-around motion. But she can really crunch over. And this part right here, even though you can't tell, is like a softer you know, material. So that's pretty cool. So I thought this cut here would be like an extra ab crunch, and unless mine's just really stuck, I don't think it is. I think it's just kind of there, you know, as an extra piece, and then we have this piece over it. But even with that, I mean, look at that. you can get her way crunched over. That's awesome, and it looks good, you know, from all angles. So that's really cool. Hunching back, again, you get decent movement, but it gets a little bit gappy up here in the front. But still, I mean, great movement back. So of course you just get really nice all around movement with that joint. So very cool. For the legs, there is no drop down or anything. I thought there would be, but there isn't. But of course, again, with this being soft, you know, it kind of gets up out of the way a little bit. But I mean, you can really get her foot all the way out. It's going to kick out at a crazy angle, you know, but going up, actually, I kind of want to kick out immediately. But you can kind of get it up about that much. You can go really far back. Of course, there is, you know, a little bit of a rotation around that joint there. And then for her knees, you get double jointed knees, which allow a nice range. It does get a little bit gappy up here in the front, but that's not that big of a deal. And then we have a ball hinge for the foot. Nice movement with the foot. You get all the way back. Really nice forward. Of course, you have the rocker in there as well, so that's awesome. And then you have a toe joint. So, I mean, just like the amount of articulation in this figure is really nice. I mean, you're going to be able to get her in some really cool poses. She's got some nice movement. And I mean, it's gonna look good too. You know, once you hide some of the little gaps that you get here and there, you can kind of hide them. But even with her crunched all the way forward, it still looks really good in the back. That's what I really like, how they did this back here. That looks great. There's just like no gapping or anything anywhere. So really awesome movement with this figure, and we get a good little bit of accessories too. So I mean, she comes with some pretty cool stuff. The only thing that I would really have to gripe about is maybe some of the paint, and then her pigtails. I feel like these pigtails are gonna just break, you know, one of these days, or if she fall off the shelf, it might hit something and break. But you know, overall, really impressed with this figure. It makes me want to get more SH Figuarts Street Fighter figures. Measuring her out, she is a little bit under 6 inches, a little bit over 5 3/4 inches tall. As far as some size comparisons, like I said, I don't have any other Street Fighter V SH Figuarts figures, but here's another SH Figuarts. Here's a Super Awakening Warrior Goku. Little size comparison there. And then as far as a Storm Collectibles, for those who might have some of the Storm Collectible Street Fighter figures, I don't have any Street Fighter figures anymore, but I do have the Noob Saibot, so, or the Noob Saibot. So he looks pretty, you know, decent scale next to her. As far as a Marvel Legends, here's a Taskmaster, which has the normal, you know, Bucky Cat body. You can see the scale between them. And then since I have them here, like here's the Dragon Stars Beerus and the Trunks figure. These are the Bandai Dragon Stars figures. So that just gives you a little size comparison as far as what she's going to look like up on the shelf. But yeah, guys, I mean, at the end of the day, a very cool figure to have. You know, especially if you're collecting the SH Figuarts Street Fighter line, you're going to want this one for your collection with the updated articulation and everything like that. Just a very fun figure to pose around and mess with. Very cool. But yeah, guys, that was a look at the SH Figuarts Street Fighter V Rainbow Mika figure. That was the review. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next figure review. Take care.